So I'd like to welcome in attorney and legal analyst Rachel Fezay. Rachel, great to see you again. Certainly, this came as a surprise, I think, pretty much to everyone. What is likely going to happen with proceedings now resuming? What was going on during that 2-hour recess?
Well, at this point, Hunter Biden has asked for the judge to approve an Alford plea, and the U.S. attorney is refuting that. They're opposing that. An Alford plea is a plea where he's basically saying, I know I'm going to lose based on the evidence. The evidence is there to convict me. But I'm going to say I'm wrong, and I'm going to take the convictions, and I'm going to let you sentence me, judge, but I'm not going to tell you that I am guilty or that I did it. I am going to maintain that I am innocent. And frankly, judges do not like that. That is not generally how a plea hearing goes. And it is unlikely that the judge will approve the plea in that way.
So, Rachel, this again came as a surprise. It's unlikely that the judge is going to approve it as is. But what are the advantages for Hunter Biden when it comes to avoiding a trial?
Well, the advantages are that all of that dirty business, all of the evidence that they have that he doesn't want made public would remain private. So he is really trying to skip the phase where he is convicted in public, all of those things come out. And at this point, he's basically admitting that he thinks he will lose the trial. So he would like to just skip to the end and be able to maintain that he is innocent.
So we know he has the separate case, the federal gun conviction at this point has yet to be sentenced. But will that in any way influence what we see happen with this case?
What it does is influence his sentencing if he does enter a plea, if the judge approves a plea deal at some point, or if he is convicted in a jury trial because he is a repeat offender. So it raises his sentence, but it should not affect the actual factual basis of this case.
So based on everything that you know, Rachel, we know it is possible, but do you think the president's son will actually spend some time in prison?
Well, given that this would be his second conviction and he loses basically the benefit of being a first time offender, it is possible. He's trying to skip the facts, which could inure to his benefit, meaning now that the judge hasn't heard all of the facts, he's just seeing the convictions, that a probationary sentence is also possible. But I do think there is the possibility of a short stint in prison.
And what kind of plea deal do you think could possibly come out of this?
Well, the issue here is that the U.S. attorneys have not offered a plea deal that lessens his time or would lessen his convictions, which is why he's going into court saying, I will plead guilty to 9 counts. And after this, where he's admitting guilt in some ways or admitting the prosecutors have the evidence, I don't think that will be reduced.
All right, we will certainly see what happens. Again, proceedings have just restarted there in Los Angeles. Attorney and legal analyst Rachel Fezay, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.